Free-to-play video games can range from essential gaming all the way down to a total waste of time. So every 6 months, I tell you about the free-to-play games with the most potential, and also a few so unique they need to be seen. Some of the following games will be dropping as soon as this summer, and others are coming in 2025. Please do me a favour and list your top 3 so I can plan out content around them. Let's do this! Starting with a game launching in a matter of weeks. This is the first Descendant, a third-person co-op action RPG looter-shooter. To try and break this down into one sentence, let's have a go. Imagine Destiny and Warframe rolled into one. It's potentially too good to be true. Playable in solo or with up to 4 players per unit, we each choose a character with their own super abilities. The story sees humanity forced to fight back as our homeworld is overrun by the Vulgus, and we are lucky enough to be in the chosen few to have the powers of our ancestors. A key part of the appeal of the first Descendant is aesthetics and customization. After playing the beta last year, I realised the end game here is to obtain the best armour and shaders possible. We gotta look good while saving humanity. The first Descendant is here on July 2nd, on PS4, PS5, the Xboxes, and PC. Next, a military first-person shooter, Delta Force Hawk Ops. 3 game modes have been showcased so far, 2 of which are confirmed to be free. Hazard Operations, which is the extraction mode, as we strategize through missions securing valuable resources alongside our squad, and then escaping unharmed. And then we have Havoc Warfare, which is the game's large-scale PvP mode. Kinda like Battlefield, where players compete as a part of a huge team on a massive map, featuring authentic terrains and including all the military vehicles you'd expect, like tanks and helicopters. Alongside this is a premium cinematic campaign, as we go back to the 1990s and replay that story in a completely reimagined way. And they have also licensed the right to recreate scenes from the movie of the same name, Black Hawk Down. Delta Force Hawk Ops are running playtests over summer, and although 2024 is still the official release year, I would be surprised if it hit that timescale. How about a game with less guns? This is 2XKO, a 2-on-2 team-based fighting game that is also a 2-on-1 fighter or a 1-on-1 fighter. The focus is a duo system with one player on-screen battling and the other able to switch in and take over in a moment's notice. The devs say it's like tag team wrestling, making a last-ditch tag to replace a teammate who's a single hit from taking the L. 2XKO is a modern take on games like Street Fighter and King of Fighters, with the usual light, medium and heavy attacks, but also 3 types of block and a pixel-perfect parry system. 2XKO is developed by Riot Games, so I don't think it'll take long before characters from Valorant and League of Legends make their fighting debuts. Coming in 2025 on PS5, Xbox Series and PC. If a hero shooter is more your speed, then Marvel Rivals could be the next big thing. To dumb it down, Rivals is 6-on-6 Overwatch, but with Marvel heroes and villains. From Spider-Man to Penny Parker, from the Punisher to Magneto, and even more characters will constantly be added over the years to come. Although everyone is unique, they all generally fit into roles, Vanguard, Duelist and Strategist, which then feed into team synergy, or basically picking characters that complement each other. There is no official release date, but the PC had a successful beta test, and PlayStation's is coming in July, and Xbox is getting this game too, expected to release in spring 2024. An upcoming action RPG with no paywall is Path of Exile 2. Set in a dark fantasy isometric world, we select from 12 character classes, resulting in vastly different playstyles. Then, over time, we combine more abilities to build our own unique subclass, with almost 500 variants thanks to a gem system and a humongous skill tree. And in terms of depth, there are over 100 bosses to find and defeat. Oh, and Exile 2 also supports a couch co-op option to play in the same room as another human being. Imagine that. Path of Exile 2 prides itself on being fair to play and never pay to win. Oh, and crossplay and cross progression are confirmed too. Switch between PC, PlayStation and Xbox without any worries at all. Path of Exile 2 is confirmed to release in 2024, although it may be under the banner of early access. A game announced in the last few days is Ballad of Antara, a world-bending action RPG coming in 2025. A vast world is set out in front of us for us to explore alone, with a friend, or in a team of 3. And each biome or landscape we visit is actually 2 worlds. Kinda like Stranger Things, another world is hidden away before our eyes, even less inviting than the one we call home. We don't know how combat works just yet, but oh my gosh, I'm getting FromSoft vibes from some of these encounters. We will learn more about the Ballad of Antara later in 2024, with the full release coming to PlayStation 5 in 2025. Staying with the PS5 for a moment, every console was pre-installed with a little game called Astro's Playroom. Essentially, it was a tech demo for the PlayStation and the DualSense controller, but it's still extremely loved years on, and it just received another update. A monthly hunt to find a secret character somewhere in each level has begun, starting with Bloodborne and the Lady of the Astral Clock Tower. Nobody knows where or when the other secrets will be unveiled, all leading up to the new adventure coming in September. A game releasing much sooner, in fact within a month of this video, is Zenless Zone Zero. Hoyoverse are back with an urban RPG to take over your life. Following a supernatural disaster, we are once again in a video game apocalypse, filled with monsters to defeat. Thankfully, our home city is much safer. The combat in ZZZ, or ZZZ if you prefer, is said to be instinctive to begin with, as it's hack and slash in nature. But underneath that ease is a much deeper system with hidden moves, special abilities, and precise dodging to master. With a roguelike element too. Interesting. Zenless Zone Zero releases on July 4th on PlayStation 5, mobile phones, and PC. And now the game that gets the most inquiries in the comments, Valorant on console. The first-person tactical shooter is highly desired on both PlayStation and Xbox, and at last it is confirmed. The stylized 5-on-5 sweatfest is coming to PS5 and Xbox Series this year. The keyboard and mouse control scheme has been reworked for controller, and with a huge roster of unique agents with their own special abilities, Valorant is certain to find its user base quickly. Console playtests are happening over summer. I'll link the sign-ups in the description if you want to take part. Battle Royale games have started to die out since their boom in 2017, yet here comes another one. Off the Grid is a 150-player Battle Royale, which is also the home of a 60-hour cinematic campaign. The idea here is great. Even though we all share this open world, not everyone is solely here for the winner-winner chicken dinner #1 survival spot. Some will actually be completing story missions, like taking a convoy to a collection point, or reconning a POI for a target. The beauty is that at any moment, two players playing different missions may collide in the same area. And also, we are constantly trying to be the last man standing. All of this with a cyberpunk vibe too. Officially coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox and PC in 2024, but after researching this, I think it's at least another year away. It'll likely stay off the grid for a little longer. Fans of MMOs should keep an eye out for Blue Protocol. The Amazon Games-funded open world of Regnus was close to release a few months ago following the official Japanese version, but suddenly everything kinda stopped. We've since found out that feedback is being taken from the Japanese release and used to adapt the international version of the game, delaying the project likely into autumn or maybe even winter time. For what it's worth, the combat and art style look inviting, and the focus on cosmetics should result in all of us looking vastly different on the battlefield. The premise of finding a way to unlock our forgotten memories seems cool too. Blue Protocol is coming in 2024 on PlayStation, Xbox and PC. A game I was totally unaware of, but is coming in July this year, is Smite 2, a MOBA. This battle arena has us facing off with gods. 10 whole years after the first game released, it's time for a reboot of sorts, on a new engine. We line up 5-on-5 and either face our foes head on, or use team tactics, a little stealth, and a heap of magic to get the upper edge. Smite is said to be the easiest MOBA to get used to, and Smite 2 is already confirmed to support crossplay and cross-progression, coming in July. Have you heard of Soulframe? The developers of Warframe are coming back with a new take on that winning formula, with inspiration from other fantasy games and movies. Soulframe remains in early development, with limited gameplay to be seen, but we have seen our pet wolf, we've seen a chat with a beaver, and some great looking combat and stealth options too. The devs have also spoken about a deep skill system and crafting system, and are currently working on quest lines to be remembered. Soulframe is one for the future. My guess is late 2025 at the earliest, although I'd love to be wrong. Mobile phone games these days are so good we've entered a period that they can no longer be kept in your pocket. Which brings me to Unending Dawn. It's said to be as addictive as a Hoyoverse game and as challenging as a Souls-like game. This open world RPG intends to be a challenging time for all. We've seen a 7-minute showcase so far, and it is in early development. We will learn more about Unending Dawn early 2025. Did you see the reveal of Project Mugen last year? The urban landscape shown to us was amazing. Spider-Man style traversal alongside road vehicles, boats, trains, swimming and grappling. 8 months ago, the devs began focusing on boss fights and combat flow. Since then, it's been criticised for straight up stealing animations from other games, so not everything here is peachy. Project Mugen is expected to receive its final name reveal this year, and they've promised us more info over the summer. From the snippets we've seen, I'm very excited by this one, and beta signups are still available if you'd like to be one of the first in the city of Mugen. A game which is due to release much sooner than that is Throne and Liberty, a multi-platform MMO with PvPvE elements. We must seek out fragments of a star to harness its power and end the evil threat plaguing the lands. As you can see, it's high fantasy around these parts, with day-night cycles and shifting weather patterns that can impact combat, both in great and devastating ways. Upon researching this further, I found conflicting reports. Some believe, following last month's beta test, the final version of Throne and Liberty will be released over summer, while other insiders say the game is in development hell as a forceful change in leadership has taken place. I guess we just wait and see for Throne and Liberty. I've been making these videos for many years now, and some games have appeared on here multiple times, and every time their release date is pushed back over and over again. Like UFL, the free-to-play alternative to EA Sports FC and their FIFA games. Well, as I'm saying this, a public beta is going on. I jumped in to check it out and can confirm UFL is a real game. And it plays pretty well, although there are still many bugs in there to be ironed out. Ronaldo is on board with the project, which is fully releasing in 2024 on PS5 and Xbox Series. Another sports sim, Maximum Football, the gridiron version of football, once again has shifted their release date back a year to 2024. Will we ever get to be the head coach of overly armoured men chasing an egg? Time will tell if Maximum Football is vaporware or the real deal. And that reminds me, a game which completely shifted focus and changed its genre is Ark Raiders. The amazing atmospheric PvEVP survival shooter was announced and we all adored it. But it turns out it's been repurposed into an extraction shooter, and development has slowed thanks to another one of their games, The Finals, as that has received a new season recently. Just looking back at the proof of this concept, it was absolutely stunning. I hope Ark Raiders does become a thing one day. For those who need a social deception game in their lives, you should know that Illang is coming to console in summer after its successful port to PC in March. We all live in a little quaint village together, getting along fine and completing tasks every day. Yet at least one person here is a wolf. The Illang's job is to eliminate innocent players every day and preserve their own innocence. Games like this are great for impromptu games nights on Discord. For fans of skateboarding games, the long-awaited return of the Skate series is planned to be a free-to-play live service game, as the players literally build the worlds we all share. I'll be honest, the pre-alpha build of the game is still incredibly early in development, even though Skate has been worked on for countless years. Just a day before I made this video, Skate's playtest had reached console, and by the look of things, Skate's progress is starting to ramp up. Let's check back on this in another 6 months. So there you have it, over 20 free-to-play games with potential to be great or a chance to play them on a different platform. Hit me up with your top 3 if you'd be so kind, and I'll look into making content around them. I'm Adam, you're awesome, it's been a pleasure, I'll see you next time.